Hey guys, wanted to come with a quick review for a movie I just checked out called The Shaft, put out by Blue Underground, and this one's directed by Dick Moss, who did original version of this called The Lift, and he also did Amsterdam, some slasher, which I haven't seen yet, but I plan on to, and I think he did Saint Nick, that IFC Christmas movie. I'm pretty sure he did that actually. Which I heard is pretty good from some reliable sources, most notably JM Nightmares. But I do want to check that one out. But essentially, this one, it takes place in New York City, and this elevator, and it's pretty much the Empire State Building, but they retitle it for the movie. But the elevator in that building is like going haywire, and it's killing all these people that get into it. And James Marshall. I don't remember what his name was in Twin Peaks, but he was the guy with the leather jacket and always rode the motorcycle and was Laura Palmer's boyfriend before she died. He plays the main guy, and he's a elevator technician, and he's kind of investigating what's going on with these elevator murders, and it's not all adding up to him and stuff. And then there's a reporter played by Naomi Watts from Twin Peaks in The Ring and all that. She's also investigating what's going on because she has a story she's writing about it for the paper and all that. And Ron Perlman plays the head guy of this elevator workplace or whatever. And Michael Ironside plays the scientist. And yeah, it's pretty much an investigation of what's going on with this elevator. It's a pretty simple plot. Towards the end, there's a couple twists and turns or whatever, but it's a pretty straightforward plot. Now, when I had first pop this in, I don't know why, but I was kind of thinking it was going to be pretty bad, but I actually really ended up enjoying this movie. It was pretty entertaining throughout the whole thing. It really wasn't as boring as the movie would make it out to be. Like, the description to me kind of sounded a little boring. I had only picked it up because it was a Blue Underground title, but it's one of my favorite Blue Underground titles, to be honest. I had a whole lot of fun with this. I'm not going to pick up The Lift, which is the same movie, just made 20 years earlier, just because, I don't know, I feel like it'll take some enjoyability away from this one, and I really like this one, so I'm going to stick with this one. But, acting did a good job on every front, pretty much. I'm not a big Naomi Watts fan, so just biased way, I wasn't a big fan of her in the movie. But Michael Ironside was good in it. Ron Perlman was good in it, Now, as far as the Blu-ray transfer goes, looked pretty stunning. There was no complaints really in any field. I mean, it's a pretty colorful movie just because about 85–90% of it takes place in the daytime. So, colors really do pop and details there. There's a lot of really shoddy CGI that sticks through because this came out in 2001. So, yeah, there's a lot of really shoddy CGI in it. And I also want to note that this is also the first time it's been in widescreen format. This was always cropped to 4:3, and this was straight to video, but it was going to be a theatrical release, but this was kind of doomed from the beginning because the very first shot you see in this movie are the Twin Towers, and this came out in 2001, and this released in theaters, I think, 3 days before the 9/11 attacks happened. And just the fact that this takes place in New York, it's about an elevator, there's some terrorist type things that go on in this movie, so it's really eerie how this movie came out 3 days before the 9/11 attacks, and it was, obviously pulled from theaters and released straight to DVD, I think 2 years later when The Ring came out, hence why they have the title there with her, Naomi Watts, in it, just like The Ring did. But yeah, they literally released this just to capitalize on The Ring phenomenon. But it's a really big shame because I really enjoyed this movie, and if it wasn't for the 9/11 attacks, this would have got its full theatrical release and maybe would have got known a little more. But yeah, this is the 3-disc version, and this is the original title it came out under, Down. I guess that's what it was when it was released in theaters. And then when they released it straight on video, they changed it to The Shaft. And I like the title and the cover of The Shaft better, only because it's the one I remember seeing on the shelf back in the day at the video store. So I switched it to that. But yeah, I thought it was a 3-disc, but it's actually not. It's just the DVD and Blu-ray. But if you could find this for like $20, I think it's definitely recommended pick up for sure. Not a whole lot of features. There's an audio commentary with the director and stunt coordinator, the making of Down, this Blu-ray exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, theatrical trailer, teaser trailers, poster gallery, and a little booklet or whatever. That kind of goes over Dick Maas's filmography. But, you know, it's not a must-have. It's not one that, you know, it's like a really must-buy in your collection. But if you're in for something down, for something, you know, a little different than the norm, a little horror action, this is definitely right up your alley then. But, yeah, that's The Shaft. Anyways, guys, peace.